Alright guys, welcome to my channel guys. So this update is about Simon Ekpa. A lot has been going on between the Nigerian government, the Finland, and the Biafran government as well. And this update is one update that will shock you as a Biafran. The very interesting thing about it is that so there is some news on the ground that everyone is still wondering how is it possible that this thing would be, all right? So, and this news is basically coming from two different platforms, all right? So, one is from the Green Light Africa, all right? And the another one it's from Biafrans that most of our Biafran activists that actually have access to some of the very facts about the Biafran movement, all right? So, let's go straight into this particular video update and we'll be right back.
This video shall be looking at a very surprising news and updates coming out from the country of Finland regarding Mr. Simon and his legal battle with that said country. Yes, because as we speak, something very, very supernatural has played out a couple of hours back, and as we speak, nobody has a full explanation and nobody can fully grasp what is currently happening in Finland. So the question here is, what has happened and how does it concern Simon, a man held in its correctional center in Finland? Well, yesterday, being the 23rd of May of 2025, we made a video showcasing the fact that a Finnish company, a Finnish firm, secured a juicy deal with the Nigerian federal government, particularly in Lagos, Nigeria. Yes, showing right now on your screen is the briefing coming from The Guardian, where it states Finnish firm backs deal to build a 30 megawatts power plant on Victoria Island, Lagos State, Nigeria. Yes, just in case you don't understand. Company, the firm situated in Finland, has signed a multi-billion-naira deal with the Lagos State government to help them construct, build and develop a 30 megawatts power plant in that state. When you look at this news from a very first glance, you would think that this is a welcome development in Nigeria, and particularly for Lagos State and its whole. Yes. But then a lot of things has played out before this particular date and time. This deal was first pre-signed around November of last year, weeks after Simon was arrested or apprehended by the Finnish authorities. Yes. So as you can see, there's a strong correlation between Simon's arrest and this multi-billion-naira deal backed by these Finnish companies. Yes. Interestingly, this did not sit well with the Deputy Prime Minister of the USP in the person of Ngozi Orabueze, because hours back she came out to openly call out the Finnish authorities that, see, we know what you guys are currently doing. We know why a Finnish company has backed a multi-billion-dollar deal in Nigeria. Yes, for a better understanding, take a look at a post released hours back. It states, remove Simon and get the deal. Is this part of the deal the Finland Foreign Affairs Minister noted on their website that Simon is blocking bilateral deal between Finland and Nigeria? And she tagged the president of the USA, she tagged the UN Human Rights, she tagged Russia, the African Union, and other top dignitaries in the world. Below this post, she attached the news briefing coming from The Guardian, the one I've showed you already. As you can see, she attached the same article coming from The Guardian newspaper. But that is not all. The moment this woman called out the government of Nigeria and the Finnish authorities for using Simon as a scapegoat to fulfill bilateral trade. Yes, the statement made by Ngozi Orabueze happened to go viral, and it attracted world leaders and some activists of the world. Showing right now on your screen is a post coming from Africa World Media TV, an investigative media outlet domiciled in the UK. It states, Dear President Alexander Stubb, is Finland on an economic fishing expedition in Nigeria, given the increasing involvement of Finnish-linked actors in sensitive African affairs, especially those tied to Africa's oil, gas, security, sovereignty. We reportedly seek clarification on Finland's intentions and oversight mechanism on human rights that occur in Nigeria. Yes, this did not sit well with this media outlet, and this got the attention of the whole wide world. But then as we speak, something miraculous and something surprising has happened to the Finnish firm. The firm that is supposed to carry out this construction project in Victoria Island, Lagos State, is known as Wartsila. Showing right now on your screen is a picture taken from the company's headquarters. This company is known as Wartsila. This is the company that will definitely carry out this construction project in Victoria Island, Lagos State. But then as we speak, something has happened to this company that nobody can really grasp and understand. This happens to be a supernatural thing because a couple of hours back, we saw a notification from Yale, which happens to be one of the biggest media outlets in Finland. These guys came out and gave us more clarity about this company known as Wartsila. The said company that signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Nigeria. What has happened to this company and how is this supernatural? Well, take a look at this publication showing right now on your screen where it states the demolition of Wartsila old factory will result in dust, vibration, and noise for the residents of the surrounding area for the rest of the year. Just in case you don't understand, the EU has marked this company known as Wartsila. They've marked one of their factories for demolition. And that demolition exercise will kick off this month and run to the end of this year. It also went a step further to claim that the demolition work of the first phase of the mill will begin in May and continue until December. 3 buildings will be demolished in the factory area and the concrete and brick waste from them will be crushed. This is a very, very surprising. How can a company that have signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Nigeria receive a marking order from the EU that see one of your old sites will be demolished? It's going to run from May till December. This is not just ordinary, and that is not even all. This company known as Wartsila, the one that signed a deal with Lagos State, Nigeria, is currently receiving heavy attacks from hackers all over the world. We don't know who is currently trying to hack into the database of Wartsila, but one thing we know is for sure is that these guys came out to release a warning hours back. Showing right now on your screen is an official statement released by Wartsila on Yale media outlet. It states, Wartsila, no need to worry about information system hacking. It also stated that Wartsila Voyage has a few employees in Helsinki metropolitan area in Finland. The hackers obtained information such as email addresses and names. It also went a step further to claim that according to the company, the damage caused by the hacking of Wartsila's information system has remained minor. Yesterday, Yale reported that Wartsila had been the target of data breach after its withdrawal from Russia. So as you can see, these guys, after their building was marked for demolition, they also received a high volume of hacking. This cannot be natural. Yes, this probably can be a coincidence. Nobody knows for sure. But one thing we know is that on the 2nd of May of 2025, that is early this year, we noticed that the current president of Finland traveled or he visited the Wartsila's company, their main site. Why did this guy visit Wartsila? Yes, just in case you don't know, this company is privately owned. And why is the president of a country visiting or inspecting a privately owned business, an enterprise? Well, for better understanding, take a look at the post coming out from the company itself, which is the Wartsila Corporation, released on the 2nd of May of 2025. It states, honored to welcome President of Finland, Alexander Stubb, and Mrs. Ines Stubb to our Sustainable Technology Hub in Warsaw. Mr. President and Mrs. Ines Stubb got a close-up view of our engines and the transformative impact of our work in shaping the decarbonization of marine and energy. This is an interesting one. Showing right now on your screen an image is coming from that visit, the day the president of Finland visited a privately owned company to inspect their property and their mechanism. Showing right now on your screen is a photograph of Alexander Stubb together with some of their board members. And when you look closely, you see Wartsila on the side wall. This is a clear confirmation that this president was there live in person. So why is this man visiting or inspecting a privately owned project? Well, it's actually very, very simple. It's simple to understand. This visitation was done on the 2nd of May of 2025 before this company received that deal with Nigeria. So it's very possible that the president went to that corporation or went to the company to see their machines, to see their engines, to see their systems, and to be sure that these guys have the mechanism and have the structure to be able to receive that multi-billion-dollar deal from the Nigerian federal government. Yes, it's actually straight to the point because I see no reason why a president will visit a privately owned corporation. It's just like Tinubu visiting Dangote's cement factory or visiting his fertilizer plant or whatsoever. It doesn't make sense unless Tinubu has a deal, an existing deal with Dangote that would definitely benefit the two parties. Yes, this is actually straight to the point. So we know what is currently going on. We know the motives behind that visitation, and it's playing out at the moment. Yes, and that is not even all. As we speak, the Lagos State government has removed one of its publication or article regarding the Wartsila. Yes, because hours back, the Lagos State government through their website released articles and news regarding this company and the deal. But as we speak, when you go to their website and search Wartsila, you notice that every single article has been removed. So the question here is, will the demolition of the company of Wartsila and the current hacking of the database by Russian hackers affect the deal with the federal government of Nigeria? Well, nobody knows for sure, but one thing we know is that Lagos State government has deleted their article on this multi-billion-dollar deal with Wartsila. Yes, that is all we know at this particular point in time. But then in our previous video, we noticed that the lawyer representing Mr. Simon has made a massive mistake, something that will possibly affect him in the court of law. So what did the lawyer representing Mr. Simon pull off? Well, this man mistakenly released or leaked out a document, a very, very confidential document that he should have kept to himself or at least keep within his legal counsel team. But this man made a mistake by posting that document on a social media platform that has gone viral at this particular point in time and might be used against Simon in the court of law. So the question here is, what is this document and what are the contents of the papers? Well, in our previous video, we extensively explained every single thing that you have to know, you need to know about that document, and we explained how it's going to possibly affect Simon in the court of law. Well,
Interpol is dragging Nigerian government to ICC for using their name to lie. You understand? So Nigerian government is in a very big mess. This video you were about to watch will expose everything Nigerian government is going to, use because of this Mazinam. They cannot lose so many things. Apart from that, the Israel Prime Minister, he don't still declare stand on this issue. I bet watch this video. I will be right back.
State of Biafra. And luckily, we have our resident history buff, Jeff Abramowitz, in studio. Jeff, hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'd like to start by quoting the Bible, which is not something I do often or even at all for that matter, from the book of Ecclesiastes. That which has been shall be, that which has been done shall be done. There is nothing new under the sun.
So how does that connect to Biafra?
Because we are talking about a civil war, the Nigerian Civil War, which was one of the world's great humanitarian crises of its time, still resonates in Africa. It was a war when the eastern part of Nigeria, which was mainly Christian, dominated by the Igbo tribe, broke away from Muslim-dominated West Nigeria, its own state Biafra, fought a brutal, bitter war, held out for 3 years, but then was starved into submission.
That we saw the president saying at the court, that they don't know how they are not responsible. They should bring in. Wow, Buhari, Malami, and Femi Adesina got involved into Nnamdi Kanu's mess. I think it has backfired.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching us from. I remember humble self, Evangelist Benjamin Johnson, S.S. Nachi, one and the only Biafran evangelist. I will continue to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. I've been telling you concerning regard to this spirit of Biafra, whenever it rises, you will see everybody, because spiritual controls the physical. You will see everybody running headers better, in the state, and they will be finding themselves in the state of confusion. And that is the state where Nigeria have found themselves. You can see everybody in the court, both the DSS, they are not denying being involved of kidnapping Mazen and the Kano. Malami, Buhari, and Erufai, and their group, Femi Adesina, and Co. They are all now saying that. Then who, if they are not the one that kidnapped Mazen and the Kano, who did? Is it Tinubu that just entered position now that kidnapped Mazen and the Kano? I want to know. Or is it Omotosho that just assumed the office to preside over these trials? Is he the one that kidnapped Mazen and the Kano? How did the Mazen and the Kano get to enter the country? And who was in power when Mazen and the Kano was kidnapped from Kenya? Was it not Buhari? And I will not forget so soon, Lai Muhammad, who made a promise and a vow that who will help them to, kidnap Mazen and the Kano will be paid $100 million. He made it a broadcast. The broadcast that anybody that will help them to, to catch kidnap Mazen Kano will be paid. Any country that does that will receive $100 million from the federal government of Nigeria. It was under the government of Muhammadu Buhari. I wonder why they are now running away. And of which, you could remember as at that time, Mazen Kano was in London. And Mazen Kano being a London man, and you know what the British, if they should embark on that kind of journey, their image will be completely tarnished. And in order for them not to tarnish their image, they have to hands off. And remember, there was a group organization called Interpol. And that Interpol was a French Interpol that was used to track Mazen Kano whereabouts in Kenya. And that was what they used because Kenya is a wretched threat. With the help of the government, as at that time, the former president of Kenya, the former government of Kenya now collected the money with the help of the Interpol and beat Mazen Kano into coma.
That reminds me that what the headquarters of Interpol located in France said recently that the top leaders in Interpol is not aware that whoever that's involved should be brought to book. I think they are just reacting to the trial that is going on. Interpol said they are not aware of what happened. Nigeria police said they are not aware. DSS police said they are not aware. Then who is aware? That's the question.
That is the area I am standing now. If these people, both Interpol, all of them are not denying it, let them ask Kenya. Because Mazen Kano was kidnapped from Kenya, and before he was kidnapped from Kenya down to Nigeria, he was beaten to coma. So he was in the state of coma when he was brought down to Nigeria. And who are the people that brought? You can remember why we the Biafrans are against the late Ifeanyi. Have you forgotten? The late Ifeanyi, of which his plane was used to kidnap Mazen Kano from Kenya to Nigeria. You remember that was the angers of the people that which they refused to bury him when he was supposed to be buried when they brought the corpse down to Nigeria.
Okay, are you saying that likely it's possible that Lai Mohammed, federal government gave Ifeanyi 100 million to facilitate the kidnapping of Mazen Kano?
Not that Kenya. They give only Ifeanyi, I said they pay to Kenya government. Of Interpol, French Interpol, the people that track the place of Mazen Kano, where he is or where he was in Kenya, before the Kenya government as at that time sent their boys right there where Mazen Kano was, and they beat him up there because he tried to resist them to defend himself. They beat him up to coma, and you know the way they brought Mazen Kano down to Nigeria? They zip him like a dead body inside a sack down to Nigeria here. Do you understand me? So if these people now are not denying it, Lai Mohammed, although he's a lying man, so he can deny if Buhari can deny.
I don't think he's still lying. He has whether he has repented like a Hope Uzodinma.
Maybe actually, maybe he has repented with Hope Uzodinma. Why am I making point of calling somebody like Late Ifeanyi? Because his plane was used. So definitely there are people that are involved in kidnapping Mazen Kano into Nigeria. And let me tell you, if these people are denying, where was Mazen Kano coming from to the courts? Was he not under the DSS? Then if you see you are not involved, how come Mazen Kano is being detained by DSS? Where is he detained by under your custody? Why is he detained in your department? Because we have military, we have police, we have other places, where Mazen Kano could be detained if you say you are not involved. Do you understand? So, and where is he coming from to court? Was he not from the DSS department? That he comes every time he appears in the court. The DSS will escort him to the court. DSS will escort him back to the office, their place, where they kept him. Do you understand? So, if all these people are not denying it, that means there is light coming at the end of the tunnel. Mazen Kano and Biafra and IPOB has finally conquered Nigeria. Once again, you can see what played in the court. In the court examination, you can see even the masquerade that appear as a witness, they don't know anything over what they have appeared to defend or to be a witness of. Do you understand? And if you watch it, there is a statement, because I just want to, slice it now. You can watch. It has gotten to the point that Even James Omotosho, the presiding judge, is now getting tired and getting fed up over the way Nigeria, cancer is handling, appearing to the issue. You understand? Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cancer team came up after Nigeria have surfaced their own evidence, which they with intention of to kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and he has to escape. They were, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu jump to bay. It is only a tree that we hear say they want cut out, and it will stand there. When they saw that they want to kill him, you and I, everybody saw how Mazen Nnamdi Kanu home was, destroyed completely. You cannot stand there. He has to jump by escaping. He has to run away. Do you understand? So if that is the way to jump bay, I don't see it that one is a jumping bay, but Nigeria made him to jump bay. Nigeria that jump pays, Nigeria that break the law. So he has to escape for his dear life so that he can stand today to defend that the same, allegation. So with all these videos and the one, the federal court of the one in Abuja, appeal court, their own case, the one that the last one that they judged over Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they presented everything, and the Omotosho agreed that with that action that Nigeria federal government, took against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu human rights, was against her rights, civic rights in this country, and they admitted with all this admission show that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is coming out victoriously, and Nigeria is losing again. Do you understand? Nigeria is losing again regard to what is already playing on the ground. Finally, to summarize it, Omotosho has given Nigeria legal team to present their listing, or within 2 weeks, within the 6 days, let them choose one a day to present their listing, or else they will strike their listing and call it a weak one. And if that happens, you know what it means. So it will be a very huge slap to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
It looks like Tinubu want to use Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case to attack Buhari because of election issues. Because I can see
not Buhari alone.
Okay.
Not Buhari alone. This is politics. They want to use Mazen Nnamdi case, to expose, to